How's it going, everyone? This is Dixon of the Ultimate Gamer. I'm logging on. In this episode, I will be reviewing the updated paddle controller as well as the 4 games off of the 4-in-1 cart. Now, I won't be doing any story for any of the games. I'm just going to give you my opinions of the games while I test out the paddle controller, as well as giving you my opinion on the paddle controller peripheral itself. Let's talk about the controller first. It's 2 controllers with 1 controller port, so you obviously don't need to use the second controller port for 2-player games on the 2600 with the paddle controllers. And like the 2600 joystick controller, paddle controller has 1 button. It took me a little to get used to the paddle controllers for each game. Breakout and Video Olympics doesn't use that red button at all. Just uses the rotary dial, which the games are practically like Pong or table tennis. Canyon Bomber, well, I haven't figured that game out. What you're doing is you're in the versus mode, up in the sky, controlling a plane or a helicopter, and you're destroying buildings by dropping bombs or missiles. In this contest, you're actually supposed to rack up the highest score against your opponents by destroying more buildings as much as you can. It's nice to see that there's a player versus computer option for this game, because majority of the games on Atari 26 when it comes to versus are 2-player only games. But, like I said, I haven't really got much of this game figured out yet. I mean, it's really stupid when you drop a bomb or a missile. You have to wait for that missile or bomb to drop down there first before you launch another. Because if you launch another missile while the other one's trying to drop down, they'll cancel the one that's trying to drop down and throw that one down. Doesn't make any sense. And then there's Night Driver. Now this game's actually fun to play with the lights off. Now, for some reason, a regular Atari 2600 joystick controller doesn't work for these 4 games. I mean, at least the 4-in-1 cart. Pretty sure the regular 2600 joystick controller would work with each of the 4 games individually. The paddle controller is pretty cool, especially when you're playing Breakout or Olympics. It feels more like you're actually playing an actual Pong game when using the paddle controller. Would be nice to have a second player, though. And Night Driver's pretty rad. Like I said, the game's better when playing in the dark and listening to awesome sound effects while at it, even when crashing a bunch of times. And that's all there is to that. I'll probably get in more detail about these games one day. Next episode, I'm going back to the regular Atari 2600 joystick controller, and I will be doing a game review. Until then, this is Dixon of the Ultimate Gamer. I'm logging off.